If you're actually looking to improve your health by losing some weight, getting in better shape, this Q&A is going to be for you. If you pull one of these things that I share today and take that and run with it, you'll probably improve your chances of not only losing weight, but actually keeping it off forever. Welcome back to another episode of the Brave Today podcast. This show will encourage, challenge, maybe even provoke you to step outside of your comfort zone and take more action to better improve yourself and your health. I am your host, Mark Avens, and in this crazy upside down world that seems to keep pushing a narrative for good people like you and me to become softer and weaker and sicker and unhealthier and more dependent than ever, the goal and number one reason I'm doing the show is to help you navigate through it so you can become braver today than you were yesterday. I have a special episode today. This is a Brave Q&A. This is where I'll be answering questions in the line of work that I do, running a online coaching business, helping people primarily with weight loss, fat loss, getting in shape, getting unstuck. A lot of questions come up, and I fielded a lot of questions over the years, and there's some that just keep popping up, and I want to answer those for you. So these are going to be related to weight loss. So if you have a question regarding weight loss, I'd love for you to share what your question is. Maybe I didn't answer it. You can send those in info@avensfitness.com. That's info@avensfitness.com. Or you can leave a comment in this episode, whether you're watching on YouTube or you're catching on Apple Podcast or in Spotify. Just drop your question and maybe I'll feature it on my next Brave Q&A. A couple of other shows within this show that we do is Brave Guest Interviews, where I interview people I basically look up to and admire that aren't only showing signs of courage and being brave, but they're also helping other people do the same. And I want to feature those on there to help inspire and encourage you maybe to take that next step for you to becoming brave, because this world is in a place right now where we need more brave people. So I hope if you're listening, you also will realize that I'm here just to help. I want to help in any way I can possible. And one of the best ways you can help me, as I don't do advertisements for the show, is if you like it, if you found value in it, is to share the show. A couple other shows, I do flavor of the day, and I break down really the latest news on any health and fitness. I basically pick those apart. And then also we do breakthrough episodes where I do a deeper dive into an area, be it physical, mental, emotional, and anything that's really holding you back. Things that I'm on a journey, and there's things that hold me back. And I realize one of the best ways of getting better and improving in my own personal health and fitness journey is, as I learn something, is to help people break through. As I have my own breakthroughs, is to help you break through. So I hope you enjoy the show. We are going to jump right into Brave Q&A. And, I get a lot of questions asked, whether it be clients, friends, families, neighbors, people in church, just about everybody and anybody. And it always has to revolve around weight loss. It's been a hot topic. Weight loss is basically the never ending topic because, unfortunately, in society, we really struggle with weight. And it's no surprise. Food tastes good, relaxing and laziness and, chilling with Netflix. Those are all things that are just very, very tempting. It's very tempting to do a lot of things that will make people overweight. But we're going to jump into some questions that come up for those of you. So if you're actually looking to improve your health by losing some weight, getting in better shape, this Q&A is going to be for you. Now, why should you be listening to me? Maybe just let me start by saying you don't have to. Of course, that's your objective is to lose weight. Maybe it would be helpful, instead of listening to pharmaceutical companies or to your friends that are doing crazy quick fix diets and all those types of things, maybe from a coach that's basically made it a part of his 30-year career path and helping people, thousands of men and women like you who've been struggling on that journey. So I won't say I have all the answers, but I have a lot of them. If you pull one of these things that I share today and take that and run with it, you'll probably improve your chances of not only losing weight, but actually keeping it off forever. So if you don't want to lose weight and keep it off forever, if you just want to lose weight, this probably is not the episode for you. But if you want to lose weight and learn how to do it the right way and take it off forever, I hope these answers that I have to the questions will be really helpful in your journey. All right, so let's jump right in. Number one, this is one of the golden questions that come up, and that is, Mark, is diet or exercise? Which one is more important? Is it the diet or the exercise? Here it's like 80-20 or it's 50-50. You need exercise and the diet. And which one is more important? Well, you always heard this saying. It's cliche, but I've said it, and I'm sure you've heard it 100 times. You can't exercise. You can't out-exercise your diet, right? No matter what you do, you can't overwork a poor diet. You can't get in shape by just working out really, really hard and then just being able to do whatever you want when it comes to the food that you eat. So that's something, and most people don't realize that because you can get away with it when you're younger. But when you get into your 40s, maybe even late 30s and 40s, and then of course, when you hit and break past 50, like I did last year, you realize it gets even harder and harder. And you realize that it's honestly a combination of both. But I will say, I've come across people who really, really good in nutrition, understanding like healthy foods and keeping things minimal processed. And, even those people I've had over the years, I've seen so many that still struggle with their weight because they're so nutrition focused. And there's really like very minimal, if any, exercise focus, activity focus. So, they might be thin, but they're not super fit and healthy because they don't do any exercise. They don't do anything active to keep their muscles engaged and keep them actually strong. And unfortunately, we do lose that over time, right? You heard that other saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's true with our body. As we age, it's just a natural process. But there are good things that you can do. But honestly, when it comes to diet and exercise, which one's more important? They really complement each other. So I've gone back and forth. I said, exercise is more important, maybe in my younger years. And no, nutrition is maybe more important. But to be honest with you, you have to pay attention to both. Now, if you know your diet is trash, then you're going to probably need to focus on that. And that needs to be the priority. That needs to take precedence over your exercise. Now, not just saying dieting, right? I'm talking about if you're wanting to lose weight and you have a struggle with losing weight and you kind of exercise a little bit, maybe you walk, maybe you have a gym membership, maybe you do a little bit of exercise, you keep as active as you can, the chances are you're struggling to lose weight because of your dietary habits. So you're going to probably want to focus. Most people, I would say 8 out of 10 times, the people that come to our coaching space and our Brave coaching program, they usually have trouble with their nutrition. And it's usually just they don't pay attention. I mean, they're eating way too many calories, or they just have really terrible eating habits. So, or they're just not skilled in the sense that they don't understand what proper nutrition is all about. So that's kind of the first one. So I would say, again, I would start with the 50-50, but if you tend to be like somebody that's a hardcore exerciser and you're trying to lose weight, you're going to need to focus on your nutrition. It's pretty as simple as that. If you're somebody that's maybe more inclined to be more developed a better skill set in understanding nutrition, then you're probably going to need to incorporate exercise into your plan. With regards to weight loss specifically. So if you're trying to lose weight, my recommendation is again, you're going to focus on you're only as strong as your weakest link. Most people's weakest link is nutrition. All right, so let's go into number 2. These are all for weight loss. How often should I eat to lose weight? This is actually a great one. And I'm going to share with you some insider information from this that I've learned from practically working with tons and tons of people with so many different eating habits. I've had everybody from I really do well with just eating one meal a day, whether it be out of boredom or just super busy. Their lifestyle, they eat one meal a day. And for some, that works. And for some, it doesn't work. And I've met people that, the average person, say, eats breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So for that person, 3 meals a day, that's kind of like me. I tend to do 3 meals a day, but then I've actually, as far as met people that their lifestyle, they're more of a grazer or snacker. And, they like to eat throughout the day. They don't like to have sit down and big meals. So they're more of a snack and grazer. And I've seen people struggle with their weight eating 5 meals a day. And I've also seen people do really, really well with the right skill set eating 5 meals a day. In essence, too, it's really going to be dependent on what's going to work best. Like, so how often should you eat rather? Really should be depending on what your goals are. So let's just say you have 25 pounds to lose. And right now you're eating 5 meals a day. Does it matter how many meals you eat a day for you to lose weight? No, honestly, you can eat 5 meals a day and you can continue to eat 5 meals a day, 5 small meals, but you got to pay attention to what you're eating. Now, let's just go back to the person that's eating 1 meal a day. Now, if you're eating 1 meal a day, people are like, oh, no, that's too little to eat. And not, I've seen people be super successful having 1 meal a day. Now, it's going to require some different things because your body's getting all its nutrients at one time during the day. but it can work provided that you are doing all those other things in between, right? So the frequency of eating really isn't going to be a factor. Now, I say this because I've had people, I say, well, just now, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I was actually under the impression that if you did eat small meals through the day, it'll help keep your metabolism going. And to be honest with you, it didn't really work any better for the person that was eating 3 meals a day or 2 meals a day or even one. So I found, based on literally in the trenches working with people, that the frequency of eating doesn't really matter. It matters what it comes out to at the end of the day. There's a calorie deficit that has to happen when it comes to weight loss. So you need to realize that if you're trying to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. Simple as that. Now, you can figure out what works best for you as far as how many meals you eat, and you can build the kind of lifestyle with 1 meal a day, 3 meals a day, 5 meals a day. Heck, you could do 8 meals a day. But then you got to actually realize, based on your goals, if it's to lose 25 pounds, what you need to be taking in per day so that you can be in calorie deficit. So that's it. Pretty straightforward. Let's go on. Number 3. Here's one I get often. Can I drink alcohol, soda, sweet tea, pop, whatever you want to call it, and still lose weight? And this one's pretty simple. Yes. You can drink alcohol and you can drink soda and you can drink sweet tea and you can still lose weight. But the caveat here is, if that's something you struggle with, say you're somebody that drinks soda with every meal, chances are that's probably not going to help you lose weight quick. And the problem with alcohol and sweet tea and sugary drinks and sodas and things like that, they're basically empty calories. So what that means is they have no nutritional value for you. So of course, sugar is very addictive, and even the diet sodas. Look, and I used to be a Diet Coke person. I like the Diet Dr. Pepper. I've kind of weaned myself off. I'm not doing it currently with my program that I'm currently working on since last year. I might have a Diet Dr. Pepper every once in a while with a good slice of New York pizza. But aside from that, it's not something that is a regular part of my diet. But I would say is you're going to probably struggle. And it's not so much, well, of course, it could be the added calories that you're taking in to make it struggle. But it's not to say I've met plenty of people that drink alcohol and that actually drink sodas and sugary drinks, and they have no problem losing weight. I've met some of them, not many, but I've met some of them, and they just have to account for those calories somewhere. So the hard thing is, say you're on a 2,500 calorie diet and you're drinking 1,000 calories in sweet tea a day, you're really only going to be able to take in 1,500 calories of food. That's where the problem usually gets people, because the empty calories that you're sucking down in sweetened drinks, they don't really register because you're drinking them so fast. They don't tend to register as quickly. So you tend to overeat. Also, a lot of times, and this is not something that I made up, this is something that's been proven with science and research, is when you tend to have things that are on your sweet tasting things, whether it be diet drinks, sodas, even like sugary alcohol drinks, right? Those tend to stimulate your taste buds to want more. You're going to crave more sugar, more sweets. And that's usually where it gets in the way. I know from past experience, and alcohol is no different, even though maybe it's not even sweetened alcohol. Let's just say you're drinking beer. When you're drinking alcohol, you tend to lower your inhibition. So you tend to just say, oh, screw it. I'll just start my diet back on Monday. I'm going to enjoy life. I'll have my beer. I'll have my chicken wings. I'll have some French fries. I'll have some chicken tenders, whatever it is. I'll have more pizza. And you'll tend to go down that direction. And that's what makes it hard. So you can drink alcohol. You can have sugary drinks. You can have your sweet teas and pops and all that kind of stuff. And you can still lose weight. So again, I would say probably 8 out of 10 people that are doing that are really probably struggling. In other words, if I were to look at 10 people that drink sugary drinks and sweetened drinks or alcohol, they usually have a harder time losing weight. So ultimately, if you want to get better results and faster results, and you have some of that addiction, whether it be alcohol addiction or sugary addictions with soda drinks and stuff, is you probably want to back off on that. The hard thing is it's really hard to do. So, you got to ask, what do you want most? Do you want to have the sugary drinks when you want, or have the alcohol, or do you want to have a body that's rocking and not struggling with weight? So those are things you got to want what you want, and you also have to want what that want leads to. All right. Number 4. How many calories do I need to lose weight? The short answer is it depends. It depends on your weight, your gender, activity level. Honestly, the other thing is you got to realize that your body is made up not to be in weight loss mode forever. So the good news is, you know, calories are just one small piece of the equation. I mentioned earlier on about calorie deficit, which is true, but you just got to look at what you're doing now. So let's just say you're putting on 5 pounds a month. So for every pound, you're thinking it's about 3,500 calories to put a pound of fat on, right? So if you're putting on 5 pounds, you could do the math. What is that? 14, 17, 18,000 extra calories you're taking in. You can do some simple math and figure that out. I think that was right. But as far as calories, if you were to look, the hardest part for people that are thinking about counting calories or wondering how many calories, they have no idea how many they're taking in now. And that's usually, so you need to take like a back step and actually say, okay, Mark is saying, I don't need to worry about how many calories I need to eat to lose weight. What's more important is to actually try to decipher how many calories you're currently doing. So, like, the best way to do that is to know where your calories are coming from, right? So, how can you do it? You go out to eat in a restaurant, you can get an idea based on the calorie content. If you go through, say, a drive through at Chick-fil-A, they might say, but the problem is they're way off in their numbers. Very, very hard to estimate the amount of calories that you're eating in a day. So, what I'd recommend, and in fact, part of our program, we take great pride in it. And I've been doing this with people for over 5 years now, is we don't make our clients count any calories because calorie counting is just sucks. It's just boring. It's not sustainable. It makes it really hard. You have a birthday party, you go to a friend's house for dinner, you have no idea how many calories are in that. So calorie counting, unfortunately, has been pushed on a lot of people and a lot of diet plans and points and all that kind of stuff. But the truth is it isn't sustainable. It isn't something that's going to be practical for a lot of people, you and me. And if you're struggling, I wouldn't really worry about how many calories, but if you say want to do this, as far as understanding, let me just make this pretty clear. The best way to do this is to journal how many calories you're taking in. And if 3,500 calories is say a pound that you want to remove, say you want to remove a pound a week, you wouldn't need to remove 3,500 calories from your diet. So you first figure out how many you're taking in. And then in a week, if you say 3,500 calories in a week, that's about 500 calories a day. So let's just say you're taking in 3,000 calories a day right now, and you need to remove 500. That would mean 2,500 calories a day you would need. Again, this is just an example. So you can do that over the course, but you're going to have to be a stickler on your calories and where they're coming from and how much you're really drinking and eating. And like every single morsel that goes in your mouth, you have to be accountable for calories. The better way to do it is to make some changes. Honestly, what we do is we have our clients look at what they eat, journal what they eat, and then make small changes, realize that, hey, I know I'm probably shouldn't be eating, fries 3 times a week. So I'm gonna back off to once a week for French fries. And then they're probably going to save some calories there, right? So that's really the better way to do it. Let's go to number five. Number five. What type of exercise is best for weight loss? What type of exercise is best for losing weight? And the best exercise, this one, you're going to enjoy this. The best exercise is the one that you're going to do. So that's it. The one that you're going to do is going to be the best exercise for losing weight. So we can rattle off the things that we hear people do to lose weight. What do? They walk, they run, they bike, maybe play tennis, a sport, playing maybe even golf and walk 18 holes. It could be going to a gym. It could be doing a spin class. It could be swimming. If you are doing things that are moving your body, that are burning calories, they're going to be helpful for weight loss. The problem exists if let's just say you were a runner and maybe you kind of fell off of it running for a number of years. You were in college or you started a family and you stopped running. You just didn't have the time. But you really enjoyed running and you put on some weight over that period of time. Maybe you had it popped out a couple babies, and next thing you know, you're an extra 30 pounds overweight, right? You got the belly fat, got the muffin top, and you want to remove that. So you're automatically thinking, well, I know when I was running before, I was in great shape. So why don't I get back into running again? Your body's in a different season of life. And it may have worked then, but it might not work now. But then if it does work, let's just kind of hear me out on this. This is kind of the scenario I see. So you get into running, you see say you run 3 miles, you're running 3 miles, you get back into a light jog and you start to run 3 miles 3 or 4 times a week, you start to lose some weight, start to feel better, you have more energy, and that's a good thing. The problem is you continue to challenge your body exactly the same as you did when you first started. And the problem with that is that you're trying to get better results. So now you've lost some weight and you're continuing to run. Maybe you run a little faster. I mean, maybe you run a little bit longer, but ultimately you only have time to run 2 to 3 miles. So that's what you're doing. You're wondering, why is it so much harder for me to lose weight now? Your body is becoming adapted. There's a principle, it's called the SAID principle. All it means is the specific adaptations for induced demand. Specific adaptations for induced demand. And that just means your body is going to get accommodated. That's the reason why people go from lifting 20-pound dumbbell curls to go 25 when they get challenged more and their body realize, hey, I can do this now. Or they go from doing a modified push-up off of a countertop or maybe a staircase because they can't do a regular one. But over time, they get stronger, it gets easier, and then they're able to progress to more of a standard push-up. Maybe you have to do an assisted pull-up with you're using a bar or machine or those bands you put under the feet, because you can't really do a full pull-up. You can't pull up your whole body weight, but then over time you get stronger. And then, so that's usually the case where I see where people exercise and they like what they do, but over time, it's not that they get bored, they still love it, but they stop seeing the results that they saw before. So keep that in mind. That's kind of a hack. So the way to work around it is to find ways, if you enjoy running, to find ways to challenge yourself running. Maybe go on a trail, go up an incline, do some wind sprints. Maybe instead of running, do a ruck where you're carrying a weighted backpack. Those are some things that can help. So, but ultimately, to answer this question and bring this back around, what type of exercise is best for weight loss? It's going to be the exercise you're going to do. And it doesn't really matter. You can pick. Ultimately, pick something that you're going to do, be consistent at, and ultimately enjoy. You want to be able to enjoy it. I enjoy the gym. I don't think I always enjoyed it, but I enjoy the results I get from working out at the gym. I like strength training. I like doing weights. I like how my body feels after doing that. I used to be in track when I was a kid and did more sprinting and things, and I haven't sprinted in a while. I like it. I would do it, but it's probably just not the season of life that I'm in for now. Anyway, so that was the first 5. That's going to be part 1. And we're going to end today's episode. And what I'm going to encourage you, if you actually enjoyed this show, thank you first off for watching. And if you enjoyed the episode, you can hit subscribe to my channel. And I really appreciate if you found value in it. Probably there's somebody else out there that would find value in it. So definitely do me a favor and share the show, subscribe, share it with your friends. And then if you want to follow me, again, you can ask questions, drop a question down in YouTube or in podcast, however you're watching this, if you're listening or you're watching this. And more to come. If you have questions, we'll go and do part 2 in the next episode. Take care and have a blessed one. We'll see you.